an economy for the biosphere. When we started, we were just a few people and we were up against nature, and we had to fight nature to survive. We became fairly selfish, and we didn't really consider looking after nature. Nature was something we had to overcome. Slowly, as we developed and learned more and more, we learned to use metal tools, and finally we had got involved with money, and eventually the GDP became the measure of success. This didn't take any account of the ecological system. The economy was separate, something outside the ecosystem, and it didn't realize that it really was part of the ecosystem. It used what the ecosystem could provide. And when it grew to the point where the ecosystem could no longer provide what it wanted, and it still kept growing, we were in trouble. This, I don't think we did this on purpose. This sort of happened to us because slowly we just followed what we thought we wanted. And it was very much a competitive and selfish system that we were developing for our society. If we are going to get the economy working within the ecosystem, we're going to have to redefine the economic system and how we use money. At present, money is created as debt, and it requires interest to be paid. And this means that it's not possible for the economy to stay as a steady state economy. It has to grow. This hasn't mattered too much when we were growing in our numbers. We recently have been growing so fast that the growth has speeded up to keep pace with it, and the faster it speeds up, the faster we increase our numbers. Now, this can't go on. We must find a way that the economic system can stop growing. And to do this, we have to keep a balance between the goods and services that we want or we can produce and the money supply. In order to keep this balance, I think it's important that the person or organization that creates the money is also the organization that draws the taxes, because then they can keep the right amount of money in circulation.
And within what region?
Well, this is important because one of the things in diversity is that in nature, the ecological systems have a balance between diversity and efficiency. And we have, for a long time, striven for more and more efficiency. We get monocultures and we end up with only one kind of money. And it does make for efficiency, but it does really cut down the resilience of the system. And so, if we can produce diversity in our monetary systems and in our cultures, we're going to be far more resilient. And so I would suggest that you should have monies at different scales. At the lowest scale, in the family, you don't need money. You just do what helps the family. Outside the family, you get into the smaller communities, and communities somewhere around about 5,000 people would be enough to make a local currency necessary. Then, for wider uses, you would have regional and national and finally world. And when we have developed to become a galactic power, we maybe need a galactic currency. I don't know.
And so how would the local currency operate?
I think that the local currency should be created by whichever locality we're talking about, whether it's the community or the country or the world. There should be a body which organises what's happening. It should be a democratic group, and they should make money when it's needed. If you need to build a university, you pay the money out to the people to do it, and if you find that there is more money than there is goods and services, which tends to mean you might get inflation, then you cut down money supply by increasing the taxes. And you can keep a balance, and you can grow or not grow, and also the community can decide what is needed for community business and what is to be private business. It can be done so that each different group has an ecological culture which fits its section of the world where it lives.